Today, we want to throw light on the Sierra Leone Teachers Union. Everybody in Sierra Leone knows say the Teachers Union don't play an important role in the country's education system and its labor movement. But I want to go back to the 80s when people in the say education sector collapse. Well, all of that happened in the 80s. And say in the 80s, the Sierra Leone Teachers Union, SLTU, navigated a severe decline in working conditions and a falling standard of education amid a worsening national economic crisis. Economic hardships and pay issues, mega pay, teacher salaries dropped to extremely low levels, failing to match the rising cost of living. Chronic delays. Paychecks were frequently delayed for months, creating severe financial backlogs for educators across the country. Impact on the education sector. Falling standards. Stakeholders and union representatives note that the deterioration of Sierra Leone's educational quality took root during this decade. Job actions. The persistent financial strain forced many teachers to resort to localized go-slows and sit-in strikes to demand relief from authorities. So we all don't see what happened to the educational sector in the 80s. The decline of the educational sector started in the 80s. But we've been getting giant. We've been effect for teachers in the name of Emmanuel Fatorma. Today we remember Mr. Emmanuel Fatorma. He was one of the most influential figures in the history of Sierra Leone Teachers Union, SLTU, serving as a pillar of educational and labor rights both inside Sierra Leone and across the African continent. He was affectionately known among his peers as the doyen of the African Teacher Union movement. His career bridged the gap between local classroom advocacy in Sierra Leone and global education policy. Fatorma in early career and local leadership. The educator. Fatorma began his professional journey in the classroom as a teacher of literature. Sierra Leone Teachers Union leadership, recognizing the immense systemic issues facing educators, who rose to become the General Secretary of the SLTU. And this role, he was instrumental in transforming the union into a highly organized, self-made independent body capable of negotiating directly with the government for better salaries and conditions. Political impact. Member of Parliament. In a unique chapter of Sierra Leonean labor history, Fatorma served as a Member of Parliament for 10 years, specifically designated to represent the interests and voices of teachers and the educational sector in government. We then talk about Education International, Global and Continental Advocacy. Education International, now a body we've been work with the Sierra Leone Teachers Union. After his time in local leadership and parliament, Fatorma took his expertise to the global stage. He moved to Brussels and spent 24 years working with Education International the Global Federation of Teachers Unions, eventually serving as the senior coordinator for the EI Africa region until his retirement in 2017. The reason we bring Fatorma a name into this conversation about Sierra Leone Teachers Union, we would not speak about the union without shining light on Fatorma, all in work inside the Sierra Leone Teachers Union. May his soul continue to rest in perfect peace. Today, the conversation really centered on teachers complaining or combating the complaint about the school system. But we want to say thank you to the President Julius Maada Bio. When President Julius Maada Bio came into power in 2018, he introduced the free and quality education, which means that Combrade not going to pay school fees. But there are complaints all over the place about the schools. Some schools, primary schools, we don't know whether they're inside Freetown or now rural areas. They Combrade and they complain to say, then they ask for this, the school they ask for that, and it's becoming a little bit troublesome for them. So we throw light on that talk today, and we hope say those waiting at the helm of power, well, of course the president, because this free quality education that the president, one of the president's flagship programs, and also the ministers there, the education, to make them understand, say, Combrade they complain about schools asking for too much. We not get no proof for this. We just listen to it in Combrade they say. So we come with a conversation for the president here, for the minister of education, the ministers of education, for make them here and make them look into the situation with educational system. A very strong sector in Sierra Leone, and President Bio no say education that the way they make the country, the people in the country go become independent decision makers. Now this make it spend a lot of money na the sector for strengthening the sector, for make sure say all the pikin in Sierra Leone go school. Education in Sierra Leone is mandatory. But if we get schools them where they come out and bog the Combrade them, the president ought to know. Continuation of this program what we make today, our next program could be centered on teachers. Teachers themselves they complain say they pay no better. So when we come back with this program, now then they want to talk about, and we talk about Combrade them, we don't complain about certain issues going on. To follow up on this, we want to talk about teachers. Teachers then they complain, say they want to let the country review their pay. So we want to create a balance between within the president they do for the education sector and within the teachers them they complain about. And make we not forget the Combrade them where they at the bottom of all this. Thank you.
Let's start building the gap together. Peace and community building start right here. Follow this page for the latest updates.